Welcome to the parody, where we tally up the victims in our favorite media. I'm Tessa Rose, and today we're looking at Surf and Turf Wars Part 2, released in 2023. And also, if you're watching this on September the 29th publicly, then that means this is the official backup episode for Time Heroes. This is an episode of Eddsworld, the likes of which have previously not been covered on the parody. Well, thanks, another Dead Meat fan, I guess I'm covering this now. I am, however, not going to steal his count for this. I guess I should also go into a bit of what Eddsworld is and who it was made by. The series was originally made by Ed Gould in 2004. Original partners consisted of Thomas Ridgewell and Tord Larson. Matt Hargreaves didn't come on until a bit later. To this day, Matt is the only person out of the original foursome to still be involved in Eddsworld. Today, he's the official showrunner of the series. To this day, it's still dedicated to Ed Gould, who he sadly lost in 2012. As with Thomas Ridgewell, well, he's off to doing his own stuff nowadays. And also, Ridgewell did go off to create his own series, As Stuff movie in 2008. And also, why am I covering part 2 of this 2-part episode? I don't know, I just felt like it. And also, yes, Matt is a lobster. And yes, he is hunted down by multiple battleships, causing the deaths of a lot of people. And also, for some reason, they host a drag race in this. Quite literally. Guess there should have been a close-up competition with how fucking many there are this episode. What are there more of in this episode? Kills or close-ups? I know it's probably kills. No, it's definitely kills, but let's get to the kills anyways. The episode begins with a previously on, showing us a reference and a shark. Multiple people on the beach are worried about this only because there's a guy doing some sick wakeboarding. This is Blondie Forever, and he's trying to hit a ramp. Sadly for him, the shark is still lurking. He hits the ramp, but that's probably going to be his last ramp he'll ever hit, as he's immediately eaten by the shark. I guess the people on the beach were right to be worried. The last piece of evidence that he lived was his clothing. After a title card, part 2, Tom and Ed are doing some volleyball against some bullies. This is also our first real close-up of the episode. This is also part 2 for epic volleyball game, along with 2 more close-ups I can add. Tom throws up the ball and Ed serves it, easily making them win as they crush all 3 bullies, not murdering. It appears all their muscles are fake too. We cut back over to the Matt Lobster. We found a new interest, buckets. He puts many things in the bucket, some that fit and some that don't at all. That whale's not gonna fit in that tiny bucket. It sprays a lot of water on him, causing him to spray havoc within the, well, water. In the end, he accidentally caused 7 boats to tip over. I can only count the driver or sailor of the boat, so that's 7 more people we can add. The Matt Lobster gets very worried about it until we hear an ice cream truck.
Yep, nothing dangerous about
Ironic! He runs over to get the ice cream, but accidentally crushes a guy with a whale. Just a quick break from all the mayhem going on, there is a character in here who is voiced by Brian Ferenzi. Fans of Dead Meat might know him being in Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 as Brock and Brent Chirino. No more ice cream too, apparently, because he picks up the ice cream truck and the owner jumps out. He gets federal attention, however.
Get me the military, the Navy, the Coast Guard, the Girl Scouts, anybody!
When talking about the Girl Scouts, he explains they used to have a stutter one time, but that does lead to a wholesome moment, so I'm fine with it. What's not fine is 2 more kills I can add along with a 4th wall break. Now we're at Tug of War where Tom decides to use some bead chunkifiers. He decides to induce some chemical reactions and boom, we're all grown. When the game begins, I think it's pretty obvious who's going to win. It's the bullies, who managed to kill the beat chunks by cutting them both in half. This causes Tom to act very, dramatic about it.
No!
Meanwhile, Matt has caught the attention of the entire army. Even the pseudo title card can't even stop him from being viewed as a threat. She forces fire upon the Matt Lobster, which of course is going to mean he inflicts violence. Now here's the deal. All of these battleships are about to get crushed, and we don't really get a definitive count upon them. That's why I took it upon myself to research how many people can fit on one of these. They appear to be small, as we see in a later shot, so it's one of the smaller kinds of battleships, so it has to hold at least under 100 people. So I decided that between 50 or 76 people, which are the only accounts I could find of actual ships that were under 100, I decided to go with 76. Inflates the count, huh? Boy, I'm going to regret this. Including those orange and blue guys down there, I'm going to count 154 more as they get crushed by, the Matt Lobster. I know how you got that way, I'm just doing part 2 for fun. She can't stand seeing all this murder, so she decides to enact a montage. This montage kills off 30 more people, a count I am definitely not satisfied with. It's getting way too hard at this point. Interspersed are way more competitions that everyone is frankly just quite even in. Matt fails to get a pilot out of the air, so he gets a battleship and decides to, So 76 is the amount of people that's on one of those battleships. And well, this cruise ship apparently at some of the smallest counts can have 62 people. So I'm gonna say 65 people on this cruise ship because of, you know, the roller coaster. And the 76 who just exploded into it will also be counted. So that's in total 141 I'm adding to this list. Please end me. Oh, and there's a Titanic parody that gives us another kill to add to the list when Jack apparently drowns. That's fun. And also, missiles are launched towards Matt, which of course gives me more kills to add. I counted a total of 9 ships being destroyed in this sequence, which of course gives us 684 more kills to add. I'd be furious too! And worst part, we're not even done with all this yet. Over the course of the next, whatever it is, seconds, multiple ships are exploded, and, well, you know, every one of them has to die, right? The final estimate, 374! Since she correctly estimates that this is more infuriating than The Purge, they decided to call in even more people. Oh look, it's Sonic and Shrek. Apparently that is not Sonic and Shrek, they're the Girl Scouts who were mentioned earlier by that one cop.
Now get out there and make your country proud!
Oh, and what sort of way? A way that'll add all 5 of them to the list when Matt eats them all? Yeah, that's fun.
Oh no, it happened again!
What do you mean by again? At this point, the boys and the bullies are just straight up neck and neck. The bully tries to tell them about their friend's record-breaking endeavors, but no, that's not actually what happens. They're just gonna beat them. Also, why is this guy wearing winter clothing? Yeah, you're gonna melt, dude. Tom just decides to spit out a freaking sandcastle. Therefore, the competition officially starts. And Matt can break my sanity even more! He uses helicopter blades to cool him down, and when he's done doing that, the helicopter is exploded. His final use of refreshment is some cola billboard that he sees. He runs back onto the beach just so he can get some cola. Sadly, there was a banana peel on the way, so he trips and falls over. He causes a very big mess, with sand getting onto every single thing in sight. After that, multiple sandcastles are praised. At first, it seems like all the bullies are about to win this, but turns out they spot whatever Matt did. It's a huge thing that was created on accident whenever he tripped and fell as a lobster. He gets back up and is awarded first place for what was essentially an accident.
What happened? Did I win? What did I win?
Yay! He won it for the boys and, well, a very high count, let's just say. The bullies immediately start trying to disprove it, but are then crushed by a whale, so I guess you can say they're the final kills we can add. A feeling scares some of them, but that's only just the end of the episode. Well, not really. There's actually a scene after the credits of some oil spilling into the ocean. It leads its way to a ship where many fish and lobsters are being caught. The lobster is driven to London and goes into a fancy restaurant. The episode ends with the lobster calling away in a fish tank and that piece of the oil barrel falling to the bottom. Alright, so, how do I say this? A giant lobster killed many people? Oh shit, that's not believable. Oh well. Let me just cut to a chase. 1,559 people died in Eddsworld Surf and Turf Wars Part 2. The victims included... Shit, I can't go into that too, because it's way too many. Jesus Christ. Well, with a run time of 12 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 0.45 seconds. A new record for average kills on the parody. That's the fastest we've ever had. And also, I am proud to say that, right now, Eddsworld Surf and Turf Wars Part 2 has the most kills on the parody, with 1,559. 310 more vet and then a Town Meme movie. Come on, just celebrate it for a second. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. There's going to be no awards of this episode because of, the obvious. So, that's it. Eddsworld Surf and Turf Wars Part 2 was released on August the 17th, 2023, which was my 14th birthday. Would you look at that? Record holder releases on my birthday. This is the backup kill count for Time Heroes, which I'm going to look at in October. But until then, I'm Tessa Rose, and this has been the parody. Thanks a lot for watching this parody. I'm not going to have, any credits for this one because, I'm trying to get this out as fast as possible on a tight schedule. So, as you saw, we just got a new kill count record holder for a parody, at least, with this one. 1,559 is going to have to be the number Time Heroes is going to try to beat. So I'm gonna have to count way more at the end there. Way more at the end there. And, that's really all I have to say. Nice record holder, Eddsworld. Thanks for watching.